Joining us now, Vikas Wadhawan, Group CFO, Housing.com, PropTiger.com and Makaan.com. Sharat Chandra, VP, Earth ID and co-founder, India Blockchain Forum. And Dilip Modi, founder of fintech startup Spice Money. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us, and it's good to see we've got a very varied panel here in terms of perspective. Let me start off with you, Sharat. Is Delhi NCR taking over Bengaluru as the tech startup hub of India?
So I think if we go by numbers, then Delhi, in terms of new startups, have already dethroned Bengaluru. So according to recent economic survey report, Delhi had close to 5,000 startups, where Bangalore had 4,500. But if you look at the deal flow or the fund flow, that's where Bangalore takes a lead, and Bangalore has the average ticket size is close to 41.6 million, but Delhi has close to 29.6, a little bit above the national average ticket size. And this number went up to, for Bangalore, up to $61.6 billion. So when it comes to deal funding, the funds are flowing back to, again, Bangalore-based startups. But again, the city is facing its own set of challenges in terms of infrastructure, and we are witnessing what's going on in Whitefield and other areas. So this will also present new opportunities for other areas to emerge as challenges to Bangalore. Let's say Hyderabad for that example.
Vikas, let me come to you on, really
Hello.
What you feel are the reasons why until now we've seen Bengaluru as the natural or preferred destination for startups.
Yeah, see, I think one of the co-panelists have already shared a lot of data. But I think if you look at the infrastructure, the overall ecosystem, not exactly the infrastructure, I won't pay much attention to the current floods in Bengaluru. Because I think all the big cities, whether Gurugram, Mumbai, Bengaluru, or other cities, have had their fair share of similar challenges in the past. But if you look at the overall ecosystem, definitely Bengaluru scores more because there are many more large startups. The tech talent availability is comparatively better in Bengaluru as compared to the other cities, while Gurugram is catching up very, very fast as compared to Bengaluru. But still, because there are a lot of large tech companies and tech startups already present in Bengaluru, it provides a very good ecosystem for the new startups to prefer Bengaluru as compared to Gurugram. And also, if you look at the cosmopolitan ecosystem in Bengaluru, because there is a very large percentage of migratory population, people feel very comfortable migrating to Bengaluru and find either a job in the tech ecosystem or set up their own startup in that city. So that's the reason people prefer Bengaluru more than other cities for starting a tech startup.
How much attention, Vikas, should one really be paying to the floods? I know you said, look, let's not think about it too much, let's put this aside. But I actually want to bring up the fact that while perhaps what we're seeing in Bengaluru is unprecedented, we have seen some severe flooding in parts of Gurgaon as well, as recently as, over the last couple of years. So is that a good enough reason to blame for a shift? Or is what we're seeing this time really unprecedented and causing, of course, some of these conversations to come up?
Yeah. See, as I already mentioned, I won't pay much attention to this one-off incidents in Bengaluru because all the big cities have had their fair share of similar incidences. I think, do we need to upgrade infrastructure in most of our big cities? I think yes. But if you purely talk about infrastructure, I think Gurugram will score better than Bengaluru. I'm talking about physical infrastructure. That's definitely is better than Bengaluru, because Gurugram, if you talk about, it's comparatively a new city which has come up in the last 20 years, and Bengaluru, the center of Bengaluru is pretty old, and it is becoming difficult for the government to suddenly catch up with the requirement of the infrastructure development as far as the center of the Bengaluru is concerned. So that's one big challenge. But I mean, when you actually make a choice, where should you set up your company or set up your startup, I think infrastructure is just one aspect of it. And if one has to pay a lot of attention to infrastructure, then probably Noida may score better than Gurugram and Bengaluru, but there are some other challenges in Noida, right? Because the tech talent compared to Gurugram and Bengaluru is not as high in Noida as compared to Gurugram and Bengaluru. So there are multiple aspects which needs to be kept in mind, and infrastructure is one aspect. Second is the tech talent availability, and third, as I mentioned, the overall ecosystem. When you're starting a startup, you rely a lot on the ecosystem. You go and work with a lot of other co-founders. You go and do a lot of exchange in terms of sharing ideas and so on and so forth. So if, let's say, you're at a place where you do not find that ecosystem, you find it challenging. So multiple aspects needs to be considered, and infrastructure is just one of them.
All right, gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us for this conversation today, and good to get a sense of, how committed the community continues to be despite currently being submerged following those torrential rains.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.